Now, Republican presidential candidate Scott Walker loves corporate welfare. Why? Well, it's because the governor will be signing a bill today that will spend $250 million in state, county, and city funds, plus tens of millions more in interest and future tax breaks on a new basketball arena for the Milwaukee Bucks. $250 million. Oh, no, wait a minute. I thought Scott Walker was fiscally conservative. Oh, right. I guess he only likes being a fiscal conservative when it comes to things like cutting education and welfare. Oh, that's where he's fiscally conservative. Not when it comes to actually giving massive tax breaks and subsidies to people who are already rich. Well, I'll get into that. As I said, he cut $250 million in funding for the University of Wisconsin. And he took that and he gave it right to a private basketball team that, of course, is going to make rich people richer. This is reverse socialism. You're taking from the people and giving it to a private company owned by a few hedge fund managers. Well, they're hedge fund managers. They have lots of money. Why can't they buy their own fucking stadium? Look, even the Koch brothers, right? Even Koch-backed think tanks and things and groups are saying, hey, wait a minute. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? You're funding a basketball stadium. What's wrong with you? Quote, government shouldn't be in the business of financing private sports stadiums. Now, this is Koch-backed group Americans for Prosperity, Wisconsin, that said this. The current deal is based on fuzzy math, complicated accounting, and millions of taxpayer dollars. Whether it comes from the state, the county, the city, or other authority, these are taxpayer dollars. I can't disagree with that. It's exactly where it's from. It's exactly what's going on. Now, the Cato Institute, another right-wing think tank, says any presidential candidate who believes that taxpayer-subsidized stadiums are a quote-unquote good deal shouldn't be anywhere near the federal treasury. I cannot help but agree with that. I can't. They're right. What are you doing giving taxpayer money to build a private stadium? That's not going to benefit really anybody except for people who are already wealthy, the stadium, the team owners. That makes no sense. And it's not just me. It's not just us libby libs that are getting upset about this. Well, there's a lot of people getting upset. As I just mentioned, you've got the Cato Institute going up against this, and you also have the people in Wisconsin that are against this. According to a Marquette University Law School poll, almost 8 in 10 registered voters were opposed to basically borrowing money, because, you know, for the state budget, using state money to build a new stadium. Now, Scott Walker, for his part, says, no, this new stadium is going to be great for Wisconsin. Trust me. It's going to be great. It's going to bring in lots of revenue to the state. Well, except for the fact that all these tax breaks make sure that none of the revenue gets taxed. So the stadium essentially gets to come in and not pay any tax and to get special breaks and incentives. How's it going to help the economy in Wisconsin? How's that going to help the state? Oh, right, it isn't. Because all that profit, all that economic, all the business that's going to go on because of this, well, all the profit from that is going to go to the owners and to the team. It doesn't go back to the people. And there's studies that show that this does not have, putting a stadium somewhere, does not have an economic impact. Well, not a positive one anyway. There's a study done in 2007, co-written by James J. Cochran, who's a professor of statistics at the University of Alabama. Now, in this study, that shows that putting a stadium somewhere doesn't really do much for the economy. He told the Washington Times that, quote, the general consensus among economists is that this sort of thing does not generate economic growth. This sort of thing does not generate economic growth. Okay, so that argument's bullshit then, from Scott Walker. No, this will create economic growth. No, it won't. There are studies. Economists are saying it's not going to do a damn thing, at least not the way that you've set it up to be. It's just going to benefit very rich people. So with that out of the way, let's go to the real reason. Now, Think Progress reports that on the very day that Walker began pushing for taxpayers to foot much of the bill for the new arena, one of the team's owners just happened to donate $150,000 to Scott Walker's super PAC. Oh. The same investor, John Hames, had also donated directly to Walker's past campaigns. And this year, Walker hired him as his national finance co-chairman. Now there's another Bucks owner because I think there's 3 different owners now. I think 2 of them at least are associated with the hedge fund. Another one of the owners, Ted Kellner, also happened to give $50,000 to Scott Walker's super PAC. Could this be related? In response to people calling him out, aides to Walker have denied any sort of pay-for-play connection, saying that, no, see, there's no connection here. You know why? Because the Bucks owners have also given to Hillary Clinton. But what does that have to do with anything? Oh yeah, no, I'm taking money from these guys and giving them tax subsidies and breaks as well as financing their new stadium. I'm giving $250 million of taxpayer money to help build the stadium. But it's okay because Hillary Clinton also took money from these guys. Yeah, but Hillary Clinton hasn't tried to build a stadium for them either using taxpayer money. That's sort of the weakest attempt to deflect I've ever seen. I don't know, maybe he's counting on everybody's almost Pavlovian reaction to some people hearing Hillary's name. Maybe that when they hear it, they'll forget that Scott Walker is an empty suit, corporate stooge. I don't know. Like, I know some people that hear the word Hillary and they foam at the mouth. Maybe he's counting on that reaction so that people are distracted. I don't know. I don't think the people of Wisconsin are buying it. They're kind of pissed. And so are also actual fiscal conservatives as well as liberals. Because this is taking money out of the pockets of people who want to get an education. That $250 million out of the University of Wisconsin, well, that's going to make it so that tuition will rise. Costs will rise for students. That's going to make college even more unaffordable for people. So yeah, that has a direct effect on people. A direct effect. Look, man, if this isn't a good enough example of the rampant kind of corruption in our political system, I don't know what else is. I don't know if I could point out anything else that could be clear enough of corruption. I don't know. All I can tell you is that this is a good example of how our system is completely bought.